go to that work and that effort and figure all that out. I mean, that's great for
No,
now.
it's not no figuring. It's just having your information, which you have, and you can call them. They'll walk you through it. One guy just took his time and they'll walk you right through it. And you have those three companies. I'm trying to pull up them now because just in case you guys keep talking, and I'll keep looking for the information and I'll give it to you.
But I think there should be some way they can stop these people from doing it.
It's hard because you're all right about them being from other countries.
I know.
Yeah.
As soon as I hear an accent, I gotta be real. I hang up.
Okay.
They're calling me on my credit cards and everything, telling me that somebody has. So I called my company, and they told me, "Oh no, that you were right to call us. Then call your companies. As soon as somebody says something you feel is suspicious, hang up and call your company that they refer to, and let them know because they got their stuff in place too."
You're absolutely
Okay.
right.
There. Okay. Here's.
Absolutely right.
If
Yeah, you have to call the company. But
okay.
you're right. A lot of our retirees are older. A lot of them are not from this country, and they don't understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
I ran into a woman in Westlake Walgreens, and she was worried that her PG&E was going to get cut off in 20 minutes if she didn't give them all these gift cards.
Wow.
And we could not convince her. They had to call the cops finally. Couldn't convince her that PG&E would not do that, and she hadn't had all these notices, and her bills were paid, and it was a scam. And she was terrified, and she was trying to get him $250 worth of stuff.
Oh wow, that's crazy.
And they ask you then for your Social Security number because your
Everything.
Medicare
No.
isn't valid anymore. So give me your number, I can check it. It's like no.
No.
Just hang up on them. Just
You hang up. As soon as you
Don't
hear
talk
the
to them.
ad, I gotta be ready. Hang up.
Here's the
Yeah.
thing. There's
Don't
a.
even talk to them. Just hang up.
Can't talk.
Okay, I don't know whether it's going to work, but if you go to California Aging Services, I think the California Aging, the hello. Okay.
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, there's a if you go to California Aging Services, I think something like that. I think there's a phone number there where you can report a possible scam. And
Yeah, go ahead.
and I think that maybe that's a good start and everything, but sometimes they're not very efficient or anything, and sometimes they're very extremely limited time, or sometimes you just want to leave message. So this is extremely difficult. But I think that if someone called you like that, and just if you want to talk to them, just play around, but never give you information, and because you're you know they're selling every little information about you now. It's more expensive now, but there are many people who has more money to buy it. And people is more than a drug. A drug, make millions, but scamming is like 10, 400 times more that they can make money than selling drugs. So many people are not really interested of there's some cartel that they're engaged on scamming. I
No,
mean,
I think the city. Some weeks ago, we had Alex Van, who was a kind of a city employee connected to Department of Aging and Aging Services that was working on getting more computer access for seniors and education about
yeah.
computers. But the senior service centers had closed down, and the program was kind of slowed down. I got an email about 2 weeks ago that he was leaving the city for another job. He's representative of just what you said. I mean, I think a minority who had been in a senior position before in the private sector came to the government, and now he's recruited back out again. And he said somebody else was taking over his position. But right now, I think the city is not doing very proactive stuff on the scam problem. And I guess that's one of the things you're trying to push, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
You guys better understand that each of your companies that you are dealing with have their own in-house stuff. Call. As soon as you think it's somebody not right, call. I've been getting them for my Capital One cards. Okay. Soon as they call and say, "Oh, we found out there's a scam. Somebody, so we need your." As soon as they start talking about needing your information, drop that phone, hang up, call that company. They have their own in-house stuff too.
And another
Okay.
and another thing, Bernal, is that sometimes this phone number, and this sounds like English, but but many of these scammer, they are trained.
No, you don't get the number from the person that you think is the scammer. You
That's
hang
right.
up the
That's
phone,
right.
get your card out, and call your company. They have their own in-house stuff.
And it's on your
That's a
card.
good idea.
It's on your card too. You're right, Vernell. It's
That's
on
very
your
nice.
card.
Yeah.
It's on your card. Just call the number. I want the scam department,
You
and
know-
it shoots you right there. I shut down 2 of my cards because I don't use them.
Yeah.
Okay, one of them I use on my Capital One.
You know, one of the things I was thinking
you
of,
have stuff, you can do all kind of stuff, but you got to let them know what your problem is.
one of the things I thought of is, since the United Nations represents so many countries, is to get them involved. Like, just like in Chinatown in the old days, they used to have a phone exchange, and these people actually knew people in Chinatown by name. Because the old way, the old phone system. I'm not saying you should have that in the UN, but we should maybe have something where you filter all these phone calls. People who are legitimate would say in the major country, if they want to do business with the U.S., say like England or Germany, that company that want to do business in the U.S. or call up American citizens would have to filter those calls through that company, maybe through a new department of the United Nations dealing with these scams.
Yeah.
And that the only way to get through to you is to go through somebody who's hired by the United Nations by a particular company, and that way they can mention, or you can see on your phone that that's a legitimate call, because you have the third party, the UN, involved, instead of a direct call from somebody in the Philippines or in Colombia. That's my idea.
And another thing that maybe next month, I'm gonna do a little research exactly, what you need to look into if you want to make a reservation for your trip and other things. What are the things you need to be careful of? But Claire talked about earlier about the minority people, the seniors that doesn't speak English and everything. Yes, they are very target because they're very they're believable. Just about anybody will call them up. And I met someone from the Chinese American community, and I got his phone number and everything. He really likes my idea. He want me to translate my program into a Chinese, and to make an outreach to the Chinese community and everything. And I think that's gonna come, and that's gonna come. I don't know, but I'm working on that one. And like I said, because of the shortage of the cybersecurity and everything, it's really hard to make an outreach, especially for the seniors that doesn't speak English very well, and because they don't know what to do. It was not on their culture that they had to doubt on people on who they're calling for. So they just, if someone give them a call, okay, you, Mr. Chu, this is your, many of these people also know how to speak Chinese and everything. And they're very, unfortunately, I know some Filipino seniors on Mission Street that I met when I go to Filipino restaurant in Mission. I met them and they said that, oh, Randy, what you're doing is good, but how can you know whether it's real or not?
When you feel it's not real, just get off the phone and call the company they say they're from.
That's right, but for some seniors that doesn't know that, Bernal, for the culture like Filipino culture, Spanish or Chinese,
but you pass
and
this
it
on.
just
That's all I'm saying is pass it on to whoever you know.
exactly, yes, we got to keep doing that. So just
Randy, that's a good report. We've got 15 minutes to go. I wanted to check in with anybody else who had anything
Okay.
And
Okay, thank you
and
guys.
I
Let me
agree
go
with
back
what
cooking.
Brunel
Thank you,
said.
Lois.
I also wanted to say that I learned that it's easy to spoof a phone number because I got one of those calls that my daughter had been arrested and it was in a Virginia police department. And I called the Virginia Police Department back and they said, yes, they can easily lift our phone number and impersonate the phone number so that your phone
Exactly.
shows a false phone number
Yep.
because my daughter was safe at home. Of course, she had not been in an automobile accident and didn't need some kind of money wire to her.
Maybe
She wasn't in Nigeria.
yeah, maybe someday we can have a different Zoom that we can just talk about cybersecurity and everything. I can speak cybersecurity people to join us. And
I hope we can find somebody.
yes.
And I know Claire periodically has people talk to the city retiree folks.
Okay, thank you guys.
Thank you,
Thank
Randy.
You're welcome. See you next month. I'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.